Excelente, August.
How's it going?
America, 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 fuck yeah, coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah, America, fuck yeah, freedom is the only.
Welcome to WFAP. You pulled it off better last time.
Hey, welcome everybody to ED4ap Radio with all your hits for this coming holiday, July 4th.
Happy America Day.
Happy America Day. This is the 250th celebration of 4th of July.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got through last week while I was on vacation with Two-Eye Kevin.
You could thank Kevin for that. I was
Yeah.
just kind of there and letting him do his thing because he don't need any help. You bring up something he's passionate about, the show's going to go just fine.
Fucking Two-Eye Kevin, Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
It's like his favorite movie.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Which I just recently learned. Yes, it only comes second to the 77 Star Wars.
Yeah.
Not A New Hope, but the 1977 Star.
He could write a novel off what he knows about that movie.
I mean, just movies in general, but
Yeah.
and of course he threw out a few names. I was like, sounds fancy. I'll believe you.
I'm not going to fact check you.
Like in Animal House. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Germans? Forget it. He's rolling. He mentions names. It's like, I'll just pretend. I'll assume that's a real name.
He's like a walk-in knowledge of movies in general.
He's a Kevinpedia.
Yeah.
Wait, that sounds filthy and illegal. Never mind.
Yeah, I thought it was funny when
He's a world of knowledge.
somebody called him out when it was his best man doing his best man speech and was like,
Oh, yeah.
I bet you even know who won what movie won the Academy Award for Best Movie of 1989. And he got it wrong, and I was like, fuck, bro. Even I knew it was like Rain Man and shit.
It was
I think he says like Driving Miss Daisy or something.
It was a long day, and
Yeah.
I was totally fine with that.
But Two-Eye Kevin, he's just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to movies and that he knows all too well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get the sense like there's going to be a lot of cocksucking in this one. So yeah, Kevin is a cinematic genius. Yeah,
We'll get to that level one day.
get him in the mix for, and we both had a substantial jump start on him.
Right.
He's still just a baby.
Right. But I think I got it to fuck, the same way you fuck with me when I was growing up and you introduced me to horror. That was me to Kevin.
Oh, really?
Right. So it's like I passed that along, which you had did to me. Is I had given that to
You
Kevin.
passed the screwdriver on to him.
Yeah. Get that damn screwdriver out of my head.
But yeah, it's well, I mean, at the time this comes out, it'll be recovery day from barbecue weekend. But yes, much like with Memorial Day on many levels.
We did talk about possibly doing, a 4th of July horror movie that really starts on July 3rd. But we figured that maybe we want to hold off and do like a watch along for Return of the Living Dead eventually down the line and talk about that. But
Yeah, I'm still a little like weirded out that you mentioned, hey, yeah, we should just totally do that. But I feel like we talked at the yeah, we all know when it comes to our favorites,
right.
we're never going to talk about it too much. People out there don't like it, but who the fuck doesn't want to hear more Return of the Living Dead?
Right.
But it was like Tuesday you brought it up, and you're like, oh, should we do this? And to me, it made. There we go. That one's for you, Kyle and Bell and whoever the hell else was in on that conversation.
Belchfest.
But yeah, it made sense, and because as soon as you mentioned doing that, or as soon as you sent the picture, which I feel like we exchange every year this time,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing that came to mind was how every December you start getting all the memes, and if you start this movie at this exact second, then this thing will happen in the movie at midnight on New Year's. And so you sent the picture of that opening shot, and all I thought about was it only makes sense for us to do a live stream watch along of Return of the Living Dead on July 3rd, which is a Saturday next year.
Yep.
At 5:30 So mark your calendars now, kids. And not saying we're never going to touch the movie between now and then, but we agreed that it was just too soon to try and promote that and get enough eyes and ears on that.
Right.
So we agreed to do that. So we looked up a list of, a bunch of 4th of July themed horror movies. And much like with Memorial Day, I guess we consciously wanted to avoid going too obvious. I mean, the closest we came was Return of the Living Dead, and then of course there's Jaws. For some reason, Independence Day came up, and it's not a horror movie.
No,
but
it's more sci-fi comedy.
But there was one movie you threw out there from the list. Part of me wanted to do, even though I would have never thought of it. Then again, I haven't seen it since it was like within a year old. Blowout.
Yeah.
Never thought of that as, it's a 4th of July movie, but part of me wanted to push that. But you brought up a movie that I've been meaning to watch for probably the last 5 years, and then you said you also didn't watch it. So there's some similarity, number one, from our Memorial Day episode of, here's one neither one of us have watched. At least in this case, we've heard of it. And we are doing the 1996 Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Written and directed by the same people who have done such hits as It's Alive, The Maniac Cop, trilogy?
Yeah.
Did they end it at 3? I forget.
I think it was at 3.
And if I remember,
Maniac.
And yes, they also, so
Yeah. William,
of course, with all of those classics, this was a no-brainer.
Yeah, directed by William Lustig, who was the director for Maniac Cop 1, 2, and 3, which I feel like is a franchise. I've never touched Maniac Cop. I've seen Maniac, but I've never touched the Maniac Cop series. I feel like that's a franchise we might need to go down and.
Yeah, I saw the first one
binge it.
again when it first came on video. Yeah, I don't think I touched any of the sequels, so yeah, maybe that is one to go back, because they or at least the first one, but I still feel like to some extent they're all classics, so we kind of have to, it's only. We did it with Creep Show. There's no way Maniac Cop could take that bad of a dip.
No. But that was for anthology purposes too.
Yes.
But Larry Cohen also was the writer for It's Alive and It Lives Again. So that was a sequel to It's Alive.
Yep.
And I always have this joke with somebody that's a friend of the family who I admire and has always been like a parent to me. And I always said, what tattoo would you like to give me of a horror movie would you like for me to get? Because I have a sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
And she went through and told me the story.
Be fair, 1.5 sleeves.
1.5, right? So I got to still finish the other one, and I'm going to do more. But I said, hey, what horror movie would you want? For me to remember you. At any moment I'll look at it. And she said, well, I don't know if I want you to get this because the only horror movie I watched was the first horror movie that her and her husband had went on a date. It was and they've been married for over 30 years. I don't know how many years, but. She said it was the It's Alive baby. And I said, oh, that'd be cool with the stroller, with the hand hanging out off to the side. And she goes, no, don't do that. Please don't do that. So I always fuck around with her that I'm going to end up getting that It's Alive baby. Because I think it's a random filler that, you know what I mean? Like, it's not something that, like, I would be like, oh, I fucking hate it. I've watched It's Alive. And
I forget exactly because I remember when it first came up, what you were toying with as far as getting the house piece done.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still the placement you're going for, but now, as soon as you said that, I'm thinking you have the hand from House, and it's like Coochie Cooing
Oh, shit.
the stroller
Instead of the doorbell. Yeah, I got to figure it out. But it was always funny. I always bring that up to her every time I see her. I was like, so I'm thinking about getting this tattoo of the It's Alive baby. No, don't do that. You can't do that. And I'm like, yeah, maybe one day I will. But yeah, so Larry Cohen was the writer for those movies. And, like I said, you mentioned about us trying to figure out a July 4th horror movie. Well, we actually did one and to me, I enjoyed was The Bay already. If you go back into the archives, we did that.
I think
episode.
and I think part of the decision was we've had our quota for the year for redos on movies.
Right. But it's always fun. I was like, shit, I forget that's one of the July 4th movies is The Bay with all the isopods.
That's
taking over.
The isopods are just as 4th of July as Bruce.
Right. Every time I go to the aquarium with my nieces and stuff, it's like, oh, here's the picture of the isopods. Nice.
Who would win in a fight, the isopods Or the graboid.
Don't even fucking go there. The Graboid better fucking win.
Just,
Um,
and then they eat it from inside. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that now.
oh shit! Now
I'm going to have to go back and rewatch The Bay just to find out that all the logistics of the isopods.
Yeah, you can catch The Bay. I think it's on Tubi, and it's actually
It seems like it's one of those
it's a
movies
mockumentary.
that's always available on something.
Yeah. But we're doing Uncle Sam. It's like, oh shit, I've never watched this before. I remember seeing this when I worked at the video store. It always had the 3D box of Uncle Sam.
Oh,
trilogy.
yeah.
So I always remembered it, but I never watched it. I even think The Last Drive-In even covered it one time, but I might have missed it, and I never went back to watch it. But it was always one of those like, oh, this is patriotic. Let's give it a shot. And your comment to me was, it can't be half as bad as...
It could only be better than Son of Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah, Memorial Valley Massacre, right? And then literally we put this movie on, and like
the first fucking guy you
the
see.
first I said, you got to be fucking me. Like I didn't look up who was in this movie whatsoever. I did no research. I put it on to watch it, to do my research for
My
the show.
introduction to who was in was the credits.
Yeah, it's not like I went in to go do a fucking history check, but the first fucking person that shows up in this movie is William Smith, who plays the major, and he played the fucking military.
Yeah, the retired
military guy.
Yep.
In the fucking Memorial Valley Massacre. And I'm like, you can't make this shit up. It's like,
But they did.
He might have been in a handful of fucking movies. And him being in fucking Memorial Valley Massacre. And I was like, that can't be him, right? So I hurry up and go to IMDb, and I was like, you're fucking kidding me. Like the way that you referenced it, there's no fucking way. And then here, this has a tie to that fucking movie with this guy.
I was just, and that comment was solely on the idea of, we want to do something relevant to the holiday. Oh, here's a movie none of us have watched. And just with the recent memory of pulling that, I had fun doing the episode. I can't go as far as to say I want that time back. And
Sure.
and especially since I'm pretty sure I ended up sneaking it in a second time just to make sure there was anything to talk about in that movie. But yeah, I mean, we both playfully shit on that movie.
Yeah.
And thinking this couldn't be any worse. And I'm going to spoil it right now. This was better.
Was it better?
We're talking about a low bar, but I did find more value in this movie.
Well, this movie had Chef. So I would definitely give it a better rating than Memorial Valley Massacre.
I thought, but when William Smith first popped up on screen, and my first thought was, see, whereas you made the connection to, oh my God, he's in this other movie. The second his face came on, I'm like, is that William Forsythe?
Oh shit!
For a split second, I thought it was him.
Yeah.
And no, I was way off. The other thing that shocked me, I swear I thought this was like an 88, 89 movie.
Originally?
No, I mean this one.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just thought it was a late 80s movie. And then when I pulled it up and saw this shit came out with Scream, it blew my fucking mind.
You got button hooked.
I think it would have been more acceptable as a very late 80s. I'll give it from anywhere
Early
from
90s.
88 to 91.
Yeah.
I think this would have been far more acceptable.
Yeah.
But again, there were some redeeming things
You can
to it.
You can find this movie on Tubi. It's playing. Uncle Sam, 1996, the horror movie. And it's and basically, Dave, it's a Desert Storm vet who is killed in combat, rises from the grave on July 4th to kill the unpatriotic citizens of his hometown after some teens burn an American flag over his burial site.
I already call bullshit on that because when you see him in the opening scene, I was under the impression they came to get the bodies. Like they were, nah, he wasn't even dead then. Then they show a few glimpses of him in the box before the 4th, and you see him twitching. And not in a, oh, that person playing dead is moving. Like, it wasn't like a continuity thing.
No.
It was part of the script that the body was moving within the casket. So yes, it fully came out on the 4th, and the way they cut it, I mean, yeah, because that was the intent, I'll bite. But the whole flag burning thing, it just felt like a coincidence. Like they were trying to edit the two things together and give you that whole, like, causation.
This is what started the fire.
But yes, we have Chef in this. He helped out a lot.
You got PJ Souls.
Yeah, when like I said, when the opening credits came on and I saw PJ Souls, I was like, this okay.
And
I'm keeping an open mind.
And Robert Forrester.
Yes. Twin Peaks Robert Forrester.
Twin Peaks. What do you play, like 10 episodes in there?
Well, he was in season 3.
Yeah.
So he was playing Harry S. Truman's brother. Sorry, Sheriff Harry S. Truman's brother. Because Harry was having health concerns. Yeah, this has more of a stacked cast than Memorial Day. I feel like this is going to be my whole thing. It's just going to be comparing the two.
Yeah, I don't want to compare the two, but
I thought the effects were really good, like the practical effects. What little you got in it, but even as simple as in the beginning when you had the kid and the fucking picture falls over and the glass shatters, which do they still make glass cheap picture frames anymore? But anyhow,
they do, but some fucking idiot likes to step on it when he gets out of bed.
Even as simple as the cut on his foot. It's like, all right, they made an effort on that. For how significant it was to the movie, I would have just imagined they took a red Sharpie and wrote it on his foot. But no, they actually made it look like his foot was cut. So I give them credit for at least trying on the effects.
You got Master Sergeant Sam Harper.
Yes.
Who's taken out in Kuwait.
Friendly fire.
On the chopper.
He went down on the chopper.
He was fucking fried and decided that he wanted to take out a few people on his way out.
Almost had a bit of a Maniac Cop look about him. Well, maybe
go
maybe
figure.
Not in the beginning.
Go
but,
fucking figure. Yeah, he now.
So you got not William Forsythe and the other guy come in to confirm the body, and I guess they went there to take him out or remove him from the premises.
Right.
He was already technically taken out. And even that whole scene when he just kind of sits up and he fucking laid into those guys.
Yeah, he fucking fired off his gun and killed both of them.
Yeah.
But they fast forward to, this kid has got his Uncle Sam that he admires. His name is Jody.
Not as cool as, Jody from Phantasm.
Definitely not. I'm taking Jody from Phantasm all day. But they got this kid who admires his uncle. He has this feeling that shit's going on, and he has this, premonition that
he's having dreams that his uncle's still alive.
Right. And he goes with his mom to help get the glass out, and then she realizes that you start to find out that she didn't have a good relationship with her brother. She doesn't talk about her brother. Sam's wife is around the family as well too.
I'm still confused as to who's who, because the two of those, what was it, Sally
and Louise.
I kept confusing who was who in that. I knew one was the mom and the other was the sibling.
You would have thought like they were really close, like they had blonde hair, and right. I think that's a differential there. But it's like sometimes when they cast people, it's like just so it's not confusing, they would use your
but
dark hair.
And it was more confusing that I could see if they were directly related, but
they weren't.
The one was Sam's brother, and the other one is Sam's
wife,
widow.
Yeah, widow at the point.
So they weren't like, if they were supposed to be actual sisters, perfect fucking casting. Right. But they look so similar throughout the movie. I kept forgetting who was who.
Yeah,
because they were both all over Jody, in a way like, oh wait, is this the mom or is this the aunt?
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah, you had to take a close look. They look really similar.
Yeah.
So she finds out. So Sam's wife ends up finding out that this military sergeant comes and kind of.
Yeah, was he the major or I forget who's? No, wait, the major was in the.
He was a sergeant.
Okay. And just comes casually walking up and like, oh yeah.
After she gets off her date with the cop, like just casually walks up and says, your husband is no longer alive.
Now, I'm a little confused because you get the opening in Kuwait and it says, it says what, like June 14th.
Yeah, so it was a couple weeks prior.
And then this is
July 1st.
July 1st, I
Yeah.
think, when they first tell her about it. But then she was saying, I don't know if she said he was gone or if he was missing for 3 years.
I think
Even though this is like
the intention
2.5
was, yeah, like he was kind of MIA, but there were the hope that he was still alive.
Okay. Because I didn't get that. It was, like I said, like 2.5 weeks prior, but saying like, oh, I haven't heard from him in 3 years. It's like, well, he just fucking died.
Right.
Not even a month
I
ago.
got the meaning of it, that it's kind of been like
I
he's
let it
abandoned
go.
and- yeah.
I wasn't losing sleep over it, but apparently she lost sleep over it. So,
But she gets notified that her husband's dead. No fucking emotion.
in fact, that was also a weird choice in the script, where he's like, "Oh yeah, I came to talk to you about Sam," and she's like, "He's not alive." Okay, yeah, all right, that was a choice.
But I guess when I had
But they explain why she may not
Why?
be so emotional.
correct, so
Now, but which one was? So was that the wife?
that was his wife.
Okay,
When the sergeant was there to tell him that he was found dead, and they identified him by his dog tags. You know, the sergeant is thinking he's coming to comfort this woman, at the same time thinking, hey, maybe she'll put out, she's emotional at this point.
I was willing to let it go in the beginning. Like, he seemed relatively professional, except for the very end when it was just like, sorry for your loss. And then he just kind of puts his hands in his pockets and walks away. And
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
He didn't even introduce who the fuck he was.
Yeah. He just came in a uniform and was just like, yeah, I got news
Yeah.
about Sam. I've never had this moment with anything. So, but I don't know. I just got the impression, or maybe it's just from watching too many movies, that he comes, he breaks the news to her, and was just, yeah. Oh, and that he was so casual about, you'll get over it in a few weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought like before he left, like he would have saluted her or something. I don't know. It just seemed awkward that he seemed relatively professional throughout, but then at the end it was just like, yeah, so sorry about it. And then just throws his hands in his pockets and like turns and walks away. It's like, that doesn't seem like.
And he was pressing on her to get, put to bury with the other soldiers.
Oh yeah, that he could be in the.
Yeah, the memorial cemetery and everything, and she was like, well, no, he's got a place with his parents.
Yeah.
We want that. So that's the reason why it didn't go to a certain place. They end up bringing the body in, and because I think the sister was like the Jordy's mom.
Yeah.
Jody's mom, not Jordy. Jody's mom basically.
My asshole's still clenching from that. I kept saying Gordy. I was like, mother.
Yeah, no, but she's like, hey, bring the body here, bring the casket here, and we'll do something here. Your house is too small.
Yeah.
And Jody had a lot of admiration for his uncle, and he looked up to him. He wants to be in the military. He
wants to be his Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Not the Uncle Sam, but
Yeah. But-
and he had, and I think that was another thing that caught me a little off guard. This being mid-90s, that he still had a pretty hardy G.I. Joe collection.
Oh yeah,
And in his mind, his Uncle Sam was his own G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
I was his age. I was still.
I think that shit was valuable by the time that movie was shot.
Oh yeah. But you kind of start seeing what's kind of going on. He's got letters. He's got his medals. We talk about Jody. He's got all this stuff that was given to him by his Uncle Sam.
Because he knew how much this kid worshipped him, and he really took advantage of it.
Yeah.
He was gung-ho, red, white, and blue American and all that, and he made sure his nephew was all in with that shit as well.
Yeah. And he wanted to make sure he was there to help do everything proper in regards to the military. Like, hey, I want to be the one to bring him in here with everybody else and to carry him in here. I want to make sure he gets his medals back, the ones that he gave to me.
Yeah, they said that he was sealed in the box. He's like, yeah, but I want to give him his medals, and I think he would have wanted.
How would you react to having a casket in your house with a dead body?
I mean, and to think that was just the standard at one point.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure way far before we were even a fucking tingle in our grandparents' fucking balls.
Yeah, that was the way.
I think that was the thing. I think that's what wakes typically were, that they would have everything set up
at the house.
And everybody would come to the house. You'd have your finger sandwiches and all that stuff. Or again, I could be watching too many movies, but
family members making the soup with the cigarette end hanging off, going into the soup while they're making it. David.
Hey, Stell, how you doing? I'm doing you next, darling. You didn't listen to what I asked.
But yeah, these
Come here, I'm gonna pinch your dupa.
Yeah, your dupa. That was always every time with Aunt Stella, the fucking dupa.
Actually, with all them sisters, they were
Yeah.
obsessed with dupas.
Yeah,
For all you Polish people out there,
Which
you're
is-
welcome.
which is coming up again on Live Aid and that fucking video.
Yeah.
Growing up, I don't know how I would feel if that were to go on, and I mean they kind of played it off. I don't know I don't know how I would react. I don't know if I would want that in my house.
Yeah.
Any moment.
It's.
I feel like
I mean, if somebody passes away at home,
yeah,
like that's awkward enough.
right.
So, which unfortunately we both know all too well. But just dealing with that, but knowing like, all right, the body's been prepped and all that shit, and now you just have a box in your fucking house. But that doesn't stop some people from wanting to get a little something something.
You mean our sergeant?
Come on, let's do just a tip. There's a fucking dead body in the other room.
So yeah, the mom, Jody's mom's got a boyfriend, right? Because it doesn't.
And
It comes off saying like his father wasn't around,
Yeah.
so he's no longer in the picture.
So the cop was banging Jody's mom.
No,
Was banging the aunt.
Sam's wife, Uncle Sam's wife.
Okay.
The cop.
See, as simple as that. I couldn't remember who was
Right.
fucking. They were both perverts.
So
both
you got
guys,
the
but-
local cop, the one fucking cop in the town.
Yeah.
That's hooking up with.
And he even looked like an 80s
Yeah.
movie cop.
So he's hooking up with Sam's wife.
I think it's bullshit. I think this actually.
And then
came
you
out
got
in the 80s.
Ralph. And then you got Ralph.
Fucking Ralph.
That's
Honest Abe.
Honest Abe that's messing around with Jody's mom, and he's a suit, and he's doing all the. I knew it was coming up. He's like, when Jody's talking about the dinner table, it's like, oh, so you did something illegal? He's like, no, I didn't do anything illegal.
I just knew the system.
I know the system to get around is not paying taxes. I'm like, oh, the only thing that's going to be coming for you is death and taxes, right? Good old Uncle Sam. You knew that was fucking coming. If you could call it a mile away.
And that's where I'm like really confused with this movie, because there were actually things I liked about it. I don't know, maybe it was just, I think this is a movie that definitely deserves a remake. I think you put this movie in the right hands, it could actually be great. I just don't think in this case it was executed properly. But they spend like almost the first hour introducing you to all these characters and how they're not patriotic enough. Therefore,
Yes.
the last half hour, they're all going to die.
Yeah. You get that in the lead up to July 4th, where he's kind of reading the
Everybody
letter.
Jody runs into is like, oh, well, fuck war. And
Yeah, you got the teacher at school that's giving him shit, and then
yeah, fucking, admits like, oh, yeah, I was a draft dodger. I was a
Yeah.
dirty hippie that protested the war. And but I love how for most of the movie, Jody did keep his composure. Because like in the case of the teacher and all, it's just like, oh, yeah, so you're the kind of person, my uncle would call a coward. Like that. And he was just like, all right, well, that's enough and all. And he's just like, oh, no, for the record, I'm not calling
yeah, I'm not calling
he
you that.
called you that. Like, that is something that I feel like if that was made today, yeah, that Jody would have been far more unhinged.
Oh yeah.
Like every time somebody did or said something that Uncle Sam wouldn't approve of, he would have like lashed out. But he kept his cool for the most
For the
part.
most part, and then
I think a couple times he was telling, oh, shut up,
yeah, you're also introduced to Chef.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Jed.
Jed, who was a sergeant as well in the military that was in the group with Sam at one point in his career.
His introduction felt really shoehorned.
Yeah, it was kind of like
he comes in
there-
and he's got the balls that Sam gave him. But it's just he's looking at a picture and he's like, "Oh, you're all dead now. Why, God? Why was
Like-
I sent home?"
like he's feeling regret.
Yeah, but the way they played it out, it just felt forced. Or
It was a weird shoe in that it was like as soon as the one sergeant had come and told his wife that Sam had passed.
Yeah.
The next fucking scene of she goes into the house and then she starts weeping a little bit, and then next thing is fucking Jed, Chef, Isaac Hayes.
and the room he's in, like it's almost as if
It looked like a vignette that he was doing for WWE. That's what it looked like.
I don't want to associate these guys with this movie. or at least this movie as is. Did you see the teaser trailer for Within the Cracks?
I did.
Seeing Jed's introduction
Reminds-
reminded me
yeah.
of Ginger.
Yeah, Ginger
In the
Lynch.
trailer.
Yeah.
Like almost as if that was, but this was supposed to be his introduction and getting like, oh yes, I'm the last one standing of my platoon.
They had to go. They
but
had
it
to
was
shoehorn
presented.
him in, and they had to tell the backstory of
It was,
why is he involved here?
yeah, I don't know if I would say poorly executed, but it was awkwardly executed.
Yeah,
It just, I think you put it best. Like almost like it was just a random vignette thrown in there, and oh, this guy's going to be involved a little later in the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's Isaac Hayes, so it's hard to shit on him. So I blame everybody else for making him do that.
You're damn right.
And you figure this is just before he became chef.
Yeah, this is.
They were.
He was probably recording this.
Yeah.
At the same time as he was.
That's what he was doing in that room.
Yeah.
He was just waiting for Trey
Matt
to
and
yell
Trey.
action.
Yeah. Yeah. But he ends up coming. Like you said, they introduce a bunch of people that are. That are against not like American morals.
They're at least
right?
they're at least anti-war.
Yeah.
And we find out Sam is very pro-war.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't patriotic. He was very pro-war.
It basically his uncle had sent him a message basically saying like anybody who disrespects America will be accounted for.
Yeah.
They will suffer the consequences.
Yeah. And that was another thing that just felt awkward.
Yeah.
How they played that, because it would lead me to believe, okay, Jody's going to go on a killing spree. He's going to dress up like Uncle Sam, and he's going to do this.
It was the Tommy Jarvis effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like, oh, there was a twist in this, but the way certain lines were executed, or even just some of the lines that were written, felt like things were going to go very different.
It felt like maybe it would have been better if Uncle Sam was like an imaginary character, and all these fucking killings are going on. And it was Jody all along. Like that might be more appealing.
That Sam was long dead, but yeah, I think you nailed it. The Tommy Jarvis effect. Like he's been dead for a long time, and yet Jody manifested his uncle's spirit within and gave him the strength.
Yes,
all 75 pounds of him to go on a killing spree.
They're doing the wake, and Chef is there. I keep on saying Chef.
It's fucking Chef.
It's Chef.
You're damn right.
Damn right. Jed, the character Jed, who's played by Isaac Hayes, he starts building a relationship with Jody in the movie, where it's like
he comes in
basically
the living room to see the box.
Yeah. His leg went in a landmine and blew it off, and
that was like kind of a tender moment.
Yeah.
That he's standing there paying his respects, and Jody's just staring.
Yeah.
So mom or aunt, whoever one of the blondes shows up and be like, "Don't stare, that's rude." And he was like, "No, it's okay. You want to know which one it is?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Come on outside. I'll tell you whatever you want."
Let me show you, kid.
Come here. So
you want to knock on it?
Yeah, and that was. But yeah, he took him outside, and yeah, it was a nice, like I said, tender moment.
Right. And then he starts talking about being in the military. Like Sam starts like talking up about how he wants to be in the military, and Jed's like, "Fuck no, man! Like you don't want to do that. Like all you're gonna do is put yourself through hell and become crazy." And
I wish I could go back to second grade. Do not say that. You've got to cherish. That was essentially the same speech.
Yeah.
Wait, what year did Billy Madison come out? Was that 96?
Maybe 95, 96.
They shared scripts.
Yeah.
Or they shared a scene at least.
There's a couple movies that tie in here. I think we might get into that. I'm not even supposed to be here today.
No, you're not supposed to be here. But yes, that did cross my... Yeah, Kevin Smith really ruined that collection of words for anyone. If it's even close, that's where we all go to.
And we'll get into it. I don't want to spoil that.
Yeah.
But he's trying to avoid Jody thinking that military is all what it's cracked up to be. And
he basically said there was a time where, when you got sent off to war, you knew who the enemy was and why they were the enemy. And now it's just like all bureaucracy and like shit being made up. And again, it felt weird being, oh yeah, this is midnight. Like this is shit we remember going through.
Right.
Or time periods we remember going through.
This was going on live still. I think the Kuwait War was like started like 91.
Yeah, it was all
and it was
somewhere in
it was still going on. And as it was kind of coming towards the end,
Yeah.
the
So it
Gulf
was
War,
it was relevant.
yeah, you got Jodie's mom who basically she doesn't really care for her brother. She doesn't talk about him. She's basically talks about how he
Yeah, everyone's
left-
pretty tight-lipped when he comes up, other than,
He-
Jody will bring him up and they'll just kind
Shut
of
it
be like,
down.
okay, cool.
yeah,
whatever.
and
They don't.
he puts him on this pedestal. What the mom was saying, like, well, I didn't really have a relationship with my brother because when he was 14 he ran away, and then when he came back he had drinking problems and shit like that. And his wife really was quiet about her emotions and how she felt about.
They had
About
to save it for
husband
the
and-
big, end of second act exposition.
Oh
bump.
yeah, that was ridiculous. But
It's like, okay, you're telling us the whole time he was a bad guy. We could kind of piece it together. Can you just spell it out so we can get that behind us?
yeah, and then which leads to, I think when at the wake he got in trouble because he mouthed off about Ralph, which was the mom's
Yeah.
boyfriend. And he doesn't like him whatsoever. In fact, he was playing with his toys. He's like, "Oh, look, you're fucking dead, Ralph," and shit like that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Destro.
yeah.
He ran over Destro with a fucking tank.
Yeah, it's just like he doesn't care for him, and he mouthed off and he didn't even curse or anything.
Yeah, like I said, he was
just-
very well mannered, but he
Right.
was passionate. And if he heard somebody motherfucking
say anything about
or the country,
or his country or his
like-
uncle.
but even then, it was just a matter of, hey, shut up.
Yeah, and then the mother's like, "Oh well, you're punished. You're going to bed, and
You're grounded.
You're grounded. You're not going to the 4th of July parade tomorrow or whatever it was." And it was just like, "Oh, okay, whatever." So then he goes up to bed. At the same time, you're kind of getting the letter about, well, he's reading through the letter about anybody who disrespects needs to be put in their place.
Yep.
Disrespects America, and that's when you start to get the cutaways of the kids in the cemetery that are spray painting the.
What was the tombstone? Savage?
Yeah, it
Or
was just
something.
some
It was-
weird, random fucking. They didn't even look like tombstones, It's
Yeah,
just,
they went like full snowboy. They're just fucking spray
Yeah.
painting everything.
yeah, they're taking out, and then they light the American flag on fire, and
Did you catch that? Normally, I could just watch it and take it for what it is, but for some reason, it really stood out with this. They got the bottle of lighter fluid,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Yeah, get it good on there." And you hear the fluid swishing around, but it was so obvious nothing was coming out of that fucking
oh yeah.
canister. It was like you couldn't even like throw some water in there or something. For some reason, it just stood out. So, and it's not like they were focused in on it. It was a two shot. You had the kid holding the flag, the kid with the lighter fluid, but it was still obvious. You hear the fluid coming out, but it's very obvious nothing's coming out of that fucking thing.
No,
And it bothered me
well,
because they put all the effort into the cut foot effect.
well, it was kind of like when you see Return of the Living Dead and all the acid rain starts coming down.
Yeah.
They go down into the ground, and you see movement
Mhm.
from the zombies. That flag going on fire and the kids disrespecting everything at the cemetery, and it was around his burial plot.
Oh yeah, because you see him like whipping
Right,
the flaming
and then the
flag
flame goes
around,
in there,
and a lot of the
And
embers.
then it goes to because it cut to tell you it was July 4th at that point.
Oh yes.
And then right after these kids were found.
Oh wait, yeah,
fighting
they
and-
show the grandfather's clock, and then it strikes midnight, and then they flash July 4th.
Yeah, which then you see the body in the casket.
But like I said, he was already twitching in his box for the last day or two.
Yeah,
so.
he's got a little twitch going on, a little Return of the Living Dead zombie action, but that triggers him to.
And then the one kid
Wake up.
pissing, was he pissing in the grave, or he just happened to be off to the side?
I don't recall.
After they burnt the flag, then the one kid just kind of steps away and he goes to piss. But I don't know if he was just randomly pissing in the cemetery or if he was actively pissing in the grave. Because if you're going to include somebody taking a leak, that would have to be it.
Yeah. Well,
Like that extra fuck you
Yeah.
to the whole situation. But I don't know.
so they show these teens, but then they cut to a different part where they got this fucking Uncle Sam dressed up on fucking 2-story stilts.
I
What the fuck?
respect whoever the stuntman was, because I think I've seen those things cap off at like 6 feet, 8 feet. Like
This was like
still-
this was 2 fucking stories high.
He walked up to an upstairs bedroom,
While he's checking out a girl that was naked.
and it's another thing you got to give it credit for. You got some cheek, and you got like a microsecond of side boob.
Which is it's always appreciated.
Yeah.
I'll take that with
It's just
the
my
old horror movie.
apparently it was my man's first glimpse at a naked body because he reacted way too hard
Oh yeah.
in that moment, like to the point where She immediately saw him.
So then she freaks him out and he goes running on stilts, 2-story stilts, dressed up as Uncle Sam,
Dodging trees.
dodging traffic,
Sorta,
people, trees, and then he makes his way. He must go for pretty far
At least a
to,
block
to
or
the
two.
park
Yeah.
near the cemetery, and then he falls down, and guess who takes him out with some Brutus the Barber beefcake shears?
I was thinking of the burning, but
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming he went for
going
the
back
eye.
to Aunt Mildred.
Yeah.
Is that beefcake?
Well, yeah, the burning the shears. I assumed that he got his eyes taken out, but basically, Uncle Sam came back from the dead,
Like
and
a
zombie-like.
Jason Lives Maniac Cop hybrid kind of look to him.
Yeah, which I did like the look. I thought that was actually
That's what I
pretty
mean. A
good.
lot of the practical effects I thought were good. It was just so minimal.
Yeah,
And we say that he looked good, but 99% of the time he was in the dark. But you got to see enough that was like, that probably looks really good.
he had the green zombie effect going on.
Yeah.
which was good. But he ends up taking out the Uncle Sam dress up, and guess who wants to play Uncle Sam? He cuts him up,
I mean,
cuts up the clothing, and starts wearing it, and wears the mask.
he tailors it right there in the park with a pair of shears.
Yeah, with a pair of garden shears, and now he is on warpath to start taking out those who disrespect America. And he's
And
starting with those, not just the one on the stilts, but now he's going to go after those kids that were in the fucking cemetery, which the one kid was held back in the cemetery doing his shit,
And
his
he
other
snowboyed
buddies-
right back at him.
Yeah, and he got a face full of
Spray paint.
spray paint.
Yep.
And then which leads him to falling into
The
the
grave.
burial plot that was already dug up.
Sam's grave.
Sam's grave.
Yep.
And he ends up, they show him with like a bone coming out of his leg.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They got the red, gushy prosthetic going on.
Yeah, and again, it was relatively quick, but
but then they go to the
look
next
good.
scene, and the kid doesn't have any cuts in his fucking
see, I
in his
didn't,
jeans.
I didn't pay that close attention.
And that's just like, okay, that was cool. Then you probably should have kept it in the next scene, because then they show like no bones popping out of his legs and he's flopping around in there. And he basically got fucking mankind and buried alive.
Yep.
Sam filled in his grave with that kid in there. And then
He
one of the
was really good at
teenagers-
replacing bodies.
Oh yeah.
He's got one person in his grave. He's got another guy over, but we'll get to that.
And then he goes, one of the kids that was the teenagers that was at the cemetery.
So yeah, it was the other two,
Vandalism.
and they're like, "Oh, we got to go back for Bobby or whoever the fuck he was." And he's like, "Well, no, I have to get home before my dad sobers up and realizes I'm not here." So he keeps going, but the other guy dips back. And again, it's wow. I'm starting to realize a lot of Sleepaway Camp 3 kills. In
Oh,
this.
well, now it comes up where the kid gets
You get to bring-
strangled
Yep, up the flagpole.
and pulled up the flagpole, just like Sleepaway Camp 3. And you're bringing up Snowboy. So that's crazy.
This is wow.
Right. Didn't even realize it.
Yeah, you're talking about, oh, there's tons of movie references. I mean, just that one movie alone. Holy shit.
So now it's like, all right, well, he took out another kid, and then one of the teenagers that was doing the graffiti in the cemetery. Now you get to the next morning, the parade's starting. The teacher's got to go in because
Oh, so the
the
kid dressed up,
hatchet.
the kid dressed up as Washington forgot to bring his hatchet to cut down the cherry tree.
And guess what? Teacher goes in, giving Jody shit the day before, or maybe 2 days before, because I guess kids are still going to school in July.
Speaking
So-
of resemblances, did you pick up like a John Hurd type look about that
A
teacher?
little bit.
It was, I don't know. I'm looking at it, I'm like, fuck, shouldn't he be home with Kevin? Like,
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Kevin, two-eyed Kevin.
So, but yeah, he goes in and yeah, once the sun comes up, he doesn't fuck around.
No.
The editors were fucking around.
So you got this parade. You got this parade that's going to happen, and then you got the afterwards event activity. Town gathering to celebrate
Yeah.
July 4th afterwards. So he
They got
takes
the
out-
little pavilion or whatever set up
right.
there in the park. And
the teacher gets taken out before he gets the one kid dressed up as Washington. He gets a hatchet to the face. You see that in the schoolroom, and these all happen like really quick, because then they
yeah, again, it's like an hour of establishing who's going to die and why. And then again, as soon as the sun comes up, okay, got to go through the checklist.
right. So I think the last kid, the last teen that was in the cemetery, ends up doing like the national anthem, and he butchers it, and he starts mooning the crowd. So he's disrespecting America. So that's gonna fucking happen. And here,
To the point where the piano player because I wasn't bold enough to say pianist.
The pianist.
The fucking penis broad. Yeah, like he fucked it so hard that even she was like, whatever.
Yeah, and that kid ends up, or the teenager ends up going to play a contest where he's in a sack, where he's jumping. You got to jump inside the sack.
Oh yeah, the
fully-
potato sack only it goes up to your neck.
Right, and he ends up falling off the course, and then guess what?
That was a nice little touch though, how they made it as if he was like fucking steps ahead of him.
Right.
That was- I
Like
like
every
that.
time he took a look and was hopping away, he looked over and he was closer and he was in a different area until he was right in front of him, and
Yeah, he would hop up a couple more feet and then like boom, he was just right there waiting.
he
And
gets butchered by
Sam.
he gets butchered by Sam using, I think he took a girl was like cooking up ribs or something, and she had
Oh yeah, the cleaver.
the cleaver. Yeah. So he ends up taking off this guy's head that in the potato sack and shit.
And again, the dummy head was pretty.
Right.
It was respectable.
Right. And he just keeps on going. The congressman shows up, Robert Forrester, and
With or without glasses.
without
Like, was there a point to that I missed?
what's that?
That he kept asking. He's just like, with glasses or without?
Without. I don't know. I guess it was just they had to throw him. It's like, hey, we got Robert Forrester to do a scene, so let's put an important role. Oh, the mayor's already taken. The congressman's going to be coming in.
Yeah, reluctantly doing an appearance
Right.
just to be amongst the commoners.
But you're also introduced during this whole time to Jody ends up getting out. He's like, fuck this. I'm leaving. I'm going to this parade.
Oh yeah, he sneaks out, and then you get the fuck. What was their names? They started with a C.
Crandalls?
Cronins.
Cronin? Is it Cronins?
Yeah,
My
the
bad.
Cronins.
It's the Cronins.
Yes.
So you're
So we
introduced.
finally get kind of like Barbarian when they cut to the fucking driving down the highway scene. It was just like, oh yeah, he was in the movie. It was the same thing. Like you see the opening credits, like, oh shit, PJ Souls is in this, and then
you're
you
waiting.
get about an hour into the movie and it was like,
Oh,
shit, she's in
yeah,
this,
She's in this. But this is where
and she's kind of
playing,
a cunt.
She's playing a mom. She's playing the mom of a kid in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Who they're going to the parade. He's blind. He's got a burned up side of the face.
And
And
apparently
he's in a wheelchair
Yeah, there was like a mishap at last year's
event,
and
4th of July event, and they were taking him there so everybody who was a part of that disaster
can see what
could
happened.
see
to
what
her
happened
boy.
to him.
And I get being protective and all, but there was still something cunty about her.
Oh yeah.
Like even the dad was like, cause yeah, so Jody sees him and he comes like, hey, like, yeah, we should totally hang out and like, yeah, I'll come over and we could hang out and we could do things. And he's like, all right, well, what kind of things? Cause I'm guessing the glasses implied that he was blind. And he's like, we could listen to
some
music.
CDs?
I could read you some stuff and all. And she's just like, oh, fuck you. And even the dad's like, he needs to be around people other than just us.
Right.
So
So he was exposed to shit going down on July 4th from shenanigans from a bunch of kids. So, and it's funny because Jody says to him, I'm not even supposed to be here today. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not, it just cracks me up. They didn't do that not once, but they did it.
yeah, see,
twice.
I forgot about that. I was when you first brought it up, I was thinking of later on when Mom finally caught up. Mom,
Oh,
and
yeah. No,
when,
no.
when
It was-
Blondie
it was-
fucking
it
caught
was
up to him and said, "You're not even supposed to be here." But yeah, I forgot he said it earlier on.
And you also got Jed there. You got Chef. That's, there.
He's
they make
firing
sure
off the cannon,
cannons for the event.
and he fired that fucker right into the street. Like they don't show where it went, but you see the way he's aiming it. That should have taken out at least one float.
Do you think there's any cannons being fired off on July 4th anymore?
Somewhere in the country, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it should still be a stand. I don't know if there's a
I
way.
could see in the mid 90s that shit going down, but I don't think anymore. Like, that's fucking dangerous.
At this point, there's got to be a way, like the equivalent of blanks for a cannon.
Yeah.
Like even if it's just a ceremonial thing, it just seems like something that. But again, I love chaos. That there should be, at a bare minimum, a ceremonial firing of a cannon.
But they had to make sure that you knew that Jed had fired off one of the cannons because you're just like, all right,
He was qualified to shoot a cannon.
now it's
May come into play.
now
now
it's going to come in at some point down the line. But this kid in the wheelchair shows up.
and then all
He doesn't have Petey,
Pretty Bird.
but he's got a burned up face, and he's like Jody's trying to be friends with him and be kind to him. Like, hey, I could.
Yeah, and he
It
was
was
even
bullshit.
saying like I had nothing to do with what happened to him.
Yeah.
And PJ Souls is just like, Don't give a fuck. You're guilty by association.
Yeah, in this movie, it goes pretty quick. Like, there was a lot of, like, movie's only like an hour and a half. But, like, the first hour is build up of all these people and trying to figure out
That
who
could have
they
easily
are.
been down to 40 minutes.
Right.
They over-explained everything. Again, for just a bunch of characters that were going to get killed in the last half hour.
Right.
Yeah.
So they just, the last half hour is just fucking chaos set.
Yeah, I think the
party
Cronins
event.
were like the last of introducing anybody. Now it's just fucking eliminate.
Right. And then the kid who can hear, he can't see, and he's in the wheelchair. He gets
Uncle Sam comes by and he
Uncle Sam.
goes, Thinner.
you know, he basically talks to him and says, "Hey, I'm gonna, you know,
Don't worry, I got you.
I got you, kid. I'm gonna take
Who
out
are
these
you?"
fuckers."
You already know.
So now, you know, the kills are still happening. The kid who butchered the anthem gets fucking cleavered. The girl that he stole the cleaver from ends up opening up the smoker.
Who is she? I meant to look her up, and she looked really familiar.
Nope, she's a nobody.
Just a bunch of, well,
Minor credits.
bunch of TV appearances. Okay. Yeah, there was something really familiar about her,
Yeah, she did look familiar,
but she wasn't in it long enough to.
So he's going through. He ends up. The mom goes and looks for Honest Abe, and guess what? Honest Abe is dead.
He was
Our
proper.
boyfriend Ralph
Apparently, somebody came up behind old Honest Abe and
shot him.
took
in the
care of
head.
business.
And that scene to me.
I mean, that was an accurate reenactment of the character. And he finally he was doing it all these years. Finally got to the point where I'm just going to buy the suit. I'm not going to rent it anymore. And look what happens.
He gets taken out.
I
It's
guess
a one-time use.
I guess he's got to be buried in it now.
Right.
After that kind of investment, he would have to, they'd have to bury him in that costume.
But the mother's, that's her
Hat and
boyfriend.
all.
The mother's response. It was just like, yeah, whatever. Like, oh my God.
That's fucked up.
That's, yeah. And then the next scene, it's like her son comes out of nowhere. He's like, yeah, well, he kind of was an asshole. And she's like,
How dare you?
you're not even supposed to be here today.
Yeah.
And it was just, I started cracking up laughing.
It was the one thing that the two of them agreed on in the whole goddamn movie.
No shit, bitch. I'm not even supposed to be here today.
That's funny. I was just telling Bobby about that like 5 minutes ago.
Blind Bobby.
Him and his pretty bird.
Yeah, Petey. And then they show the congressman. They're going to do the 4th of July fireworks show.
Yeah, reached the point they're going to have their firework extravaganza.
Yeah, and those effects were a little ridiculous because they
I
showed Robert Forrester up front like he was gagged and he had all these fireworks tied to him.
But that's the thing. The way they had him rigged, I had to go back and rewatch it. I'm like, who the fuck's that supposed to be? Like, I couldn't see him in that. They had shit in his mouth, shit sticking out. It was like, I think that's supposed to be the Congress. And then I rewound back. I'm like, was there somebody else missing that I forgot? And yeah, not a very good stunt double.
They would go. It was. It was a scarecrow that they had all puffed out when they showed it from
And they
afar
just-
blowing up,
And they just took
and then they show a close up of him, and it's like, oh, like he's being fried with all these fireworks blowing up, and everybody sees what's
looked like
going
Marv
on.
getting electrocuted. Ooh.
Yeah, it was ridiculous because everybody's watching it, and even to the point where the cop is like, "Shit, the congressman's getting blown up with all these fireworks."
And the first
goes
half
up
of it was like they almost didn't realize that he was getting fucking.
Oh, it was going on for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Like they almost looked confused, and yeah, finally the cop,
Cop goes up and then ends up falling down the hill, and he goes right into Uncle Sam with the fucking flagpole.
That might have been my favorite kill of it all.
That was pretty good.
Just the fact that like tumble.
Yeah, you know it was coming. It was like, and at the same time, all this shit's going down. The mother's mourning her boyfriend, and somewhat, and then Sam's wife is there. They start shit talking Sam, and then the kid gets pissed off again, Jody, and then they are like, "You just don't understand." And then he's like, "Well, we need to tell you."
Finally.
Finally. Let me tell you a story, kid, about your fucking uncle. And then they talk about how they were abused, and you don't know what he did to me, and he did awful things.
And the fact that the sister, I applaud her bluntness. Like, I was so happy when he got married, to her, because finally he would start beating somebody other than me.
They didn't come out and say it. They just basically implied that he did very awful things to her, and abused her and other stuff that you probably don't want to talk about to your kid about what happened.
Yeah.
What your uncle did.
But
And
the
then,
fact that she said, I was so happy when he got married so he would have a new victim right in front of the person he fucking...
yeah, that's a fucked up line. I'd be like, bitch, fuck you. That's what I would have said.
You fucking bitch, fuck you.
You fucking set me up.
But like I said, I applaud the honesty of that.
Yeah.
It's a shitty thing to say, but she was honest.
Right. And then it's like, well, at least the kid had some compassion. He says, I'm sorry that you went through that.
That's what I mean. Like he was... I don't think they could ever make a comfortable. They could make a character, especially a kid character like this.
Imagine if he was like, well, did you deserve it?
What'd you do? Was his supper cold? But
Was his bath not warm?
did you grab the wrong slippers, bitch?
Did you drop the soap? But he did have compassion, and he kind of felt bad, and he kind of started realizing that maybe his Uncle Sam isn't really good after all.
It was the first time that he realized, okay, maybe he was at least a little bit of a monster. Like you could tell he was having that, having a little conflict over the whole thing. It's just like, I've kind of worshiped this guy my whole life. Now I'm finding out he was kind of a piece of shit. And it's like, how do I do this? But that's what I was trying to say before, though. Like, I don't think they would be able to make a character like that, being that passionate, yet that human and restrained throughout.
Yeah.
Like that, I feel like that kid had every reason to be completely unhinged. And no, he played it cool. He played it like a human.
Right. No, he did.
And again, given that whole story, I feel like nowadays that would have been something where he would have, kind of like how we were just joking. Like, oh, well, what did you do to make him do that to you?
Right.
And like shit, like I feel like that's how it would have been written nowadays.
Yeah, it
And
would. It would have.
But
been.
he took it. He understood what they were saying. You could kind of see the conflict, but it's still, he was a decent enough human being to be like, I'm sorry you went through that.
Yeah. And then as soon as Sam leaves and all that shit goes down with the fireworks, everybody's trying to skedaddle now because now they realize there's a mass murder on the loose, and the kid in the wheelchair ends up telling Jody, is like, hey, your uncle is doing this. He's the one that's back from the dead, and he's taking charge of all this chaos that's going on. And then
Chef decides, I'm going to take these kids to safety.
Right. And at the same time, he's like, no, Sam's still alive, or no, Sam's dead. He's just back for revenge. And then Jed's like, oh, I bumped in, he had that look in his eye. He had that gleam. And
I did like that where
I saw him. I think you might be right.
When they first explained it to him, though, he was just like, Sam's dead. And he's like, I didn't say he wasn't.
Right. Right.
There were. It's funny how many clever lines that were in this movie, and yet it was drowned out by so many awful lines.
Yeah, yeah, and he's like, "Well, we got to get out of here. We got to go let's go check the casket to make sure that what you're saying is true." And then they go back to Jody's house, and just Chef and the kid in the wheelchair, and
oops, we forgot about this one.
Yeah, and the sergeant that had given his
trying
wife
to bang the widow.
Right, so he's got his throat sliced and is in the casket, and now they realize, shit, he's out there killing right now and he's dead, and
we have to deal with this.
They were like, oh, I know where he went. Oh, where did he go? Oh, he went to his wife's house.
Yeah, it would make sense. If I came back from the dead, I would go after my wife. Nah, fuck that. There's far more. I'm going to the titty club.
I am out. Peace.
I am going to New Jersey to see naked women.
So they go to the wife's, and this is the end of the movie where they get into hey, the wife is there. Now she's afraid. They go into the house, and she's scared because all this shit's going on. Is he really dead? She don't really even know. And guess who's back for supper?
Did you warm it up yet, bitch?
Sam is there. They're at the house with the wife. And he's about to wreak havoc.
Again, going back to Tommy Jarvis. Jody pulls a little Tommy. Like, no, Sam, no. They're just trying to keep us apart because, we're on the same team. You and me, we're the same, man.
When he's talking to him and shit and all this crap is going down, and he says, are you volunteering? to Jody.
I've always wanted to be like you. Well, you have to die to be like, no, you have to die. That's the other thing. The fact that he had him whispering pretty much the whole time.
Yeah. Like,
sorry. You shouldn't even be walking around, so... Yeah, put a little something in there. You gave Chef your fucking balls. That's why you didn't have the balls to actually speak.
The wife shoots the gun at him to Sam into him a few times. He doesn't budge.
Oh yeah, it takes a few shots. Not back shots, chest shots.
Yeah. And then
But
he's like, and then the kid's like,
But he's like,
tells-
yeah, you have to die in order to be like me. And he's like, do you volunteer?
yeah. And then he's like, tells Jed to go get the cannon.
Yeah.
Go get the cannon ready. You knew that's fucking coming.
Yeah.
So after the Jody and his Uncle Sam have their little talk, he realizes that he's trying to set him up to get killed. And he tries to set him on fire, but he kind of comes out of it as they're coming out of the house, and they play the 1.5, 2 minute scene of him like, oh, I fell to the ground and here's Uncle Sam still coming at me.
Yeah.
And you got Chef and the wheelchair kid.
I applaud they didn't go like
the cannon.
very textbook like slow-mo on that either.
Yeah.
Like they kept it relatively
It was
normal.
relatively normal. Yeah.
Like it was cut in a way that stretched it out, but it wasn't like I feel like you would have gotten that, Bionic Woman like that.
Right. And you got this burned up Sam like coming through. The house is somewhat on fire, the front porches, and Chef fires that cannon into him and he goes flying into the house, and the house goes and fucking blows
And
up.
then you get the New Blood
Yeah.
fucking house explosion. And they're all like, yes.
Where's the wife?
Where did the blondes go?
Yeah, where
Weren't
did the
they-
wife go?
Weren't they both in the house?
No, because
was
the
just-
mother was at her house.
Okay.
Jody's wife was at her house, but the wife was in there. I'm like, where the fuck did she go? I don't know. I didn't.
But they were so happy that, like, they seemed more happy that the fucking house blew up, much less like taking him out. And it's like, first of all, you blew up a fucking house
Right.
just to take out one person. But
The kid, the blind kid in the
I'm pretty sure there's at least one civilian.
He was just like, when it blew up, he's like, yeah. And you see, like, you can't see. All you could do is feel the explosion and hear it.
He felt, but then again, he knew it was Sam that would talk to him earlier. It took a few minutes for it to sink in, but
Right.
so he could see with more than just eyes.
And then you get the cut of Jody burning at his house.
All of his army
Yeah,
shit.
all his army, his toys, all his military shit, anything that had to do with the military and his uncle.
And then
You see him
last
burning.
and last movie reference, he turns around and gives that fucking Damien look to the camera. That
Smile.
what the fuck was that supposed to imply? Because that definitely didn't feel Tommy Jarvis to me.
I think there was supposed to be an Uncle Sam too, and it was going to be Uncle Jody
Maybe I wouldn't be surprised.
or Uncle Sam 2. Jody's back.
But then we had Scream the same year, and then people just forgot any other movie was ever made.
Did you see the post credit right after you see him smiling at his mom, looking back after he's burning the stuff?
What, the poem?
No, it said for Lucio.
Oh yeah,
I guess that was a.
was that supposed to be Fulci? Or,
It was supposed to be for Fulci.
or some other guinea.
So Fulci passed away in '96,
Oh, yeah.
March 13th of '96. So
I
that's probably right when they were either finishing the movie up. So.
okay.
And a lot of it, I think they had mentioned the end scene being, like a homage to.
I was gonna say, yeah, it had that it had a very Gates of Hell, and I would say this is less ambiguous. Like I said, when he turned with that face, I was just thinking of Damien at the end of the original Omen.
Yeah, it was a reference to the ending of City of the Living Dead.
Yeah, like I said, that's the closest I could come up with as far as similarity. But nah, this was less vague. I was confused, but
I was looking at some of the notes on this movie. It looks like they did fire off one of the cannons at 2 a.m. in the town they were filming it, which basically woke up the whole entire town. It's fucking awesome. Imagine it flying through somebody's house at the same time.
Yeah, see, I would have never picked up on PJ Soul's hat.
Yeah. PJ Soul character wears a red hat similar to her character in Carrie, who wore a red baseball cap. And this was the last film that William Lustig had directed.
And there you go, the 3D poster that you got to stare at work all day long. All day long.
It was on the VHS cover box,
Mm-hmm.
which it was very similar to Demon Wind.
And Jack Frost.
Yeah, and I started at the video store 99, and that's when.
So you got a fresh box.
So yeah, I would always see that movie sitting there. It was at the end of the horror section.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the used section.
You just had that and Frankenhooker, and that just entertained you for half your shift.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this was I was always meaning to watch this movie. And I was like, when would be the good time to watch it? And I was like, we were messaging back and forth the other
We
day.
need a
I was
4th of
like,
July movie. All right, there we go.
All right. So we conquered it. Uncle Sam.
I'm going to stand by. I think there's a potential for a really good movie here. And this is something I would absolutely like to see somebody take a crack at. And try to keep, but they can't fuck up Jody's character.
How about Eli?
He's proven he could do holiday movies.
Right? I mean, we got Ice Cream Man coming out soon.
Yeah. I guess we'll see how that turns out. Make sure he still has it.
But I could see a remake of this.
I just think it had so much more potential. And I think one of the downfalls is if you're going to do like all this, like useless to an extent, character development, and to have a half hour of just a fucking massacre, I think they should have showed a lot more. And I'm sure the censors were still kind of motherfucking these movies and all.
The MPAA.
But I think nowadays you can get away with, I would even be fine with them keeping all the same kills as this. I think nowadays they would actually show it, and you'd get a better shot of all this. Because it was just way too little blood for an otherwise meh movie.
Yeah.
So,
what would you rate this out of 10?
I think I'm bumping it up a bunch because of how much potential I feel it has. I'm going to say a 5.
Okay.
I was going to go a little lower, but not that my rating's going to fucking have any effect on what anybody does, but yeah, I just think it has enough potential that I'm giving it that much benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. It's
absolutely better than Memorial Valley.
I thought it was better than Memorial Valley Massacre, way better.
And I would say, based on my rating, probably twice as good as Memorial.
Yeah. I think I'm in the 4 out of 10 feeling. Maybe
that
at
was
most like a 4.5, but I think I'm going to stick with 4.
Showing up to here, that was my gut, but just talking about it, I figured I'll give it that extra point.
I'm not disappointed that I watched it. I felt like it was worth a watch. I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
I think we should just start working on rewriting it.
There we go.
Not even rewriting it, just tweak a few things.
It sucks because William Smith did die in 2021, so if we were trying to get a cameo appearance for somebody that appeared in Uncle Sam and
well, we could go back to my
Memorial
gut.
Valley Massacre.
Maybe get William Forsythe to play that.
Yeah. I mean, that it would fit him perfectly. But
and
I couldn't.
Sergeant Harper, are you a slacker?
I could not believe that you joked around about not being as bad as Memorial Valley Massacre.
Yeah. As soon as it came up.
And as soon as I turned on the movie, I got this guy in the first minute of the movie. I was like, am I being fucking, pranked right now?
I think you said like you brought up that movie and they share somebody or something along those lines. And then I completely missed it. And then when I realized who it was, I'm like, well, yeah, but less booze.
Yeah.
At least he had booze in the other movie.
Yeah. Hey, let's go watch that Army-Navy game from 1950 and let's get drunk in my trailer.
Yep.
Right, Bubbles? Or Muffin? Or what the fuck was her name?
Yeah, wasn't it Bubbles? Or maybe I still have Tracy Lords on the mind.
Oh, shit. Peppermints.
So, yeah, they called her Pepper.
Yeah, her name was Peppermints. And then,
all right, I swore that it was a B, but a P is like a half a B.
Yeah, I was there with you. It was some stripper name. But then I have in here Chuck U. Farley. Yeah, we might have to reference that a couple more times this year, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad I watched Uncle Sam, and it was, continue with a holiday theme for us that we've kind of been hitting on the past couple times, whether it's been Memorial Day or Father's Day or 4th of July.
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out.
But
in my mind, midnight Saturday night is officially Halloween season.
You damn right.
Damn right.
Well, Dave, we didn't beat the shit out of this movie, and we didn't prolong it any more than it needed to be.
Maybe a little bit, but I'll worry about that in post.
Well, everybody, do not keep a firework in your hands when it's lit. Make sure you don't JPP that shit and blow your hand up.
Yeah.
Because then you got to play with a cast on your hand for your football career.
Although I get, by the time this comes out, I guess everybody's hungover. But anyhow, hope everyone does or had a fucking awesome weekend. celebrating the country. And as always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Old Ms. Bates. Okay. Squirrel! Wherever you're listening to this, there is the option. You click a link and it's Text the Nerds. I found out that in a recent update, you can now leave us a voice message. So by all means, do that. Hit us with your worst. Or you could suck us off. That would be amazing too. But
Either way, it's well appreciated.
somewhere in the episode, there's a link. You could send us a voicemail. I don't know the how that plays out. Maybe I'll give it a test run now that I'm aware of its existence. But either way, support the show, follow all of our shit and all that stuff. And toodles.
Peace.
Broadcast completed.
You've been listening to What an Excellent Day for a Podcast. Be sure to come on down to excellentdayforapodcast.com where you'll find our entire catalog. And for your convenience, every episode contains a link where you can text the nerds. Want to throw some praise? Some critique? Perhaps you have a suggestion for a topic you'd like to see us tackle. But while you think about that, you could also check out the connections to all of our socials, including our YouTube channel. Give all them a visit. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with everybody you know. And for those feeling a little extra generous, there's also a button where you can support the show in other ways. Every bit of support helps. Well, that's it for this episode. And remember, stay creepy and keep talking some damn hard.